A long-time bucket list destination, Big Bend National Park. Melody and I have arrived. Melody and I have arrived at Rio Grande Village in Big Bend National Park. Let me show you around. As soon as you pull in the Rio Grande Village, you'll see the village store. It's a well-stocked store. They have a gift shop in there, maps, whatnot. And they also have a fuel station with diesel and gasoline right here at Rio Grande Village. Right alongside the village store, you can have access to free Wi-Fi. There is no cell service here in the park. Down here at Rio Grande Village, we have all three carriers, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, absolutely no service. So the free Wi-Fi really comes in handy for those basic tasks. Melody and I are camped up at the Rio Grande Village Federal Campground. I'm going to take you up there and show you the best campsites. Melody and I are so pleased that we decided to visit Big Bend National Park. Let me take you into the Rio Grande Campground and show you around. I'm going to show you the best campsites. And more importantly, I'm going to show you sites where you don't have to worry about the overhead tree cover. You have a big rig, you're going to want to be careful where you travel in this campground. On your way into Rio Grande Village Campground here at Big Bend National Park, you'll find a dump station. And at the dump station, you'll also find a fresh water fill. And up there's the dump station. And because details matter, folks, the fresh water fill does have threads. As you pull into the Rio Grande Village Campground, you'll see this registration station off to your left. Camping is by reservation only on reservation.gov. At the registration station, they have a campground map. What I want to show you here is they have a generator and a non-generator section. The non-generator section is in the light blue. And Melody and I are in site 84. We did a pretty good job for never being here before, sight unseen, making the reservation. We have a generator site. Let me take you around the campground. So folks, there's a long drive in to get to the Rio Grande Campground, even after you enter Big Bend National Park. And the scenery just wows. We are so glad we decided to visit this park. As you pull in, it's pretty straightforward. You're gonna see signs that'll point you to your numbered site. You just progress down this road until you see the sign that's for your appropriate site. No, this is not flooding. This is irrigation. There's signs up telling anyone that visits that they're irrigating where these trees are. But Melody and I are camped in site 84. So I'm going to take you down this way first. I'm going to show you some of the best campsites here in this campground. The restrooms within the campground are flush toilets. There's no showers in there. Showers are pay showers, and the shower house is located down by the campground store. A couple of sinks, a urinal, a couple of commodes, place is clean. And for the tent campers that watch my channel, they do have a dishwashing sink. It is a scenic campground. Look at that backdrop. My camper is, you can see it through the trees there. But you know what really caught me off guard is after the first night we were here, we discovered that off in that direction, this campground is situated right by the Rio Grande River. We didn't realize that when we made the reservation. And you can actually, there's a nature walk, and I'll take you out there in this video, and beautiful sunsets from that nature walk. It takes you up on a little bluff, and you can look down at the Rio Grande River. Very conveniently located. Melody and I are currently camped in our Cougar fifth wheel in the center of your screen. The site 77 right across from me, that is a big rig friendly site. I believe the maximum length is 40 feet. My rig is 36 without the gate down, 38 with the gate down. And but that site there, you have no tree issues with that site. Site 77 going down the book. Melody and I are in site 84, and I'm going to come back to this site just in a minute. But the folks across from us pulled out, so I want to take you over there before anybody pulls in. This is site 86, and it's big rig friendly. You don't have to worry about overhead tree clearance in this site. Very long site. You can get just about any size rig in there. Site 86 going down the book for Rio Grande Village Campground, folks. Now from this angle, it looks like, you know, that tree would cause problems, but not if you back your rig in this way. And that's why I gave you that first shot. See, you can go in here, back your rig up in there, but you do have to watch that tree right there. And this is one of the better sites, folks. Just up from site 86, these folks also pulled out. Site 87. And no problem with tree clearance there. You can get a pretty decent size rig in there. Site 87 also going down the book, folks. So I'm going to go back and show you my rig. This is another perspective, site 86, right across from my site. And you can see how close the trees are back here. So I actually had to go down, turn my rig around, which was a real treat, and then approach from the opposite direction to back my rig in here. But we made it. Hey, we reserved this site sight unseen. That's one of the reasons I do these videos, so that you can pick a good site before you even get here. I got my Yamahas out. We find it convenient. We could easily do without the Yamahas because I have solar. 680 watts of solar on the roof. But it's very convenient to have those generators in the morning to make your coffee and a piece of toast or whatever you want. This is we do have a bear box, and very pleased with our site. So site 84 I would recommend. There are better sites. That site right across from me I would say is better, and so is site 87. But we did well for never being here before and selecting that site online. I usually do it the maximum allowed time period out. I believe it was 6 months for this park. Let me continue to take you around Rio Grande Village Campground and show you the best campsite. My rig's back that way, but just to illustrate, I wanted to show you here. This is site 89, and you could very easily damage your rig if you have especially a fifth wheel. If you back in the wrong way, this site here, you have all these different obstructions, and they really could have trimmed these trees back better. But you really have to watch what you're doing in this campground, folks. I'm going to show you a few more sites that I'd recommend for big rigs. So a lot of these sites are wonky. That's why I'm not showing you a whole lot. But this one will work, folks. Like 62, site 62 going down the book. Well, we're in South Texas, folks, and the wind's starting to kick up. Nothing I can do about it. That Winnebago Mini off to the left-hand side of your screen, a couple by the name of John and Sarah, that's their camper. We met them. They're from West Virginia. We actually met them back in Ajo, Arizona at Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. Just by chance, they're camping here the same time we are here at Big Bend National Park. I may get them on video later this week during our stay, so there's a possibility you'll see them later in this video. But right now, I want to take you over and show you their campsite. John and Sarah are in campsite number 1. Not a bad site, and they did this like at the last minute. John's got his solar out. But yeah, not a bad campsite. In fact, you could get a big rig in here. There's my home state of West Virginia right there, folks. I believe that's a non-generator site, but still putting it down in the book for you. Campsite number 1. Campsite 5 is a nice pull-through site, and you don't have tree obstruction in that site. Good to know. Here's campsite 7, campsite 8. They're kind of built up on a berm. They're too narrow for my liking. But if your pickings were slim, those may be alternates for you. There's no tree obstructions, but they are narrow. And the nature trail is back this way, and that's where those drop-dead gorgeous sunsets are. Let me take you back there and show you some photos and some clips of our experience on this nature trail. The Rio Grande River makes a big U right here. Check out the scenery. Coyote in the campground, folks. There's my RV. And there goes the coyote. Right over to where those tents are. Yeah, that coyote just went in a tent. Coyotes in the campground. Rio Grande Village Campground, Big Bend National Park, Texas. Well, there's our rig here at Rio Grande Village Campground. And would you believe it or not, John and Sarah from West Virginia ended up in a site right next to us. John and Sarah have invited us over for dinner. No, this is not a pond. They irrigate periodically, and this wasn't here when I moved in. So John's site looks like a little peninsula here, but they got a good setup. We're on site 89. John, what are we having for dinner?
Raw potatoes, green beans, pork steaks. Pork shoulder steaks.
Pork shoulder steaks.
They're cheap, but they're good.
He's got them on the grill right here.
With some Georgia seasoning.
With Georgia seasoning.
Georgia.
From the country, Georgia. Sarah was over in Georgia.
I had John do this for me.
So this is Sarah and John's rig, Micro Mini. I showed it to you earlier in the video when they were at the other campsite. They'll be at several campsites during this week. They were able to hodgepodge some reservations together, but Sarah and John are from our home state of West Virginia, and it is I can't think of another couple that we met from our home state of West Virginia. John's a retired firefighter from the city of Charleston, and man, you ought to see this setup he has on his truck. I mean, they are really into backcountry camping. Check out his truck. Look at that canopy that he's got set up here. Where's this canopy from?
South Africa.
South Africa. And he's got solar set up. He's got USB. I think this is a air pump.
Yeah, the air compressor, inverter, DC to DC charge room behind here, and all my outlets charge all my different connectors. This is where I charge in my solar panel if I want to set up solar panel.
Cool beans.
But my battery took a quit working. Chinese battery. But it runs off of, I plug it in, I have another panel right here where I could plug it into.
That's a DC refrigerator John's got there. So anyhow, we are going to get to dinner, but I just want to introduce you to John, and his wife Sarah is over here. And we've become friends with these folks. We've socialized several times, both in Arizona and now here in the big state of Texas at Big Bend National Park.
We have had an amazing time at the Rio Grande Campground inside Big Bend National Park in Texas. It has, the sunsets here are some of the best I've ever seen. Wildlife, we just saw a coyote walk through our campground. We saw javelinas the other night. But highly recommend, you won't miss your full hookups, guaranteed.
So for some final thoughts on Rio Grande Campground in Big Bend National Park. There's no hookups here. This is a dry camping experience. If you want full hookups, I did another video on their full hookup campground. It's a private campground adjacent to this campground. But Melody and I camped here. We love free and affordable RV camping. And we camped here for, I think it was $8 a night with our access pass. So we had a wonderful time. We went to Mexico, we did the scenic drive, we did a couple hikes. You'll have to be looking for those videos further down the road. And, but I'm gonna leave you with a few photos from each one of those experiences. We also went to the Chisos Basin. They have pine trees and it's lush and it has a viewpoint. It looks down into the desert, much different than the rest of the park. I'll show you a clip, maybe a few clips and some photographs of all those places right now. I'll walk you out on what they call the window. This is the Window View Trail in the Chisos Mountains, Big Bend National Park. Something to see, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. We sure enjoy making them. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you down the road.